new. And I used to think this was a bad thing. I know, Jesus, when are they ever going to believe that we're going to be able to turn this thing around? But actually now I think it's great. Because what it means is we've now convinced them that we've taken care of last month's question. And they're on to the next one. So I thought, well, let's get ahead of the game. Let's try to figure out what all the questions are going to be and map out where we are. So that's what the Apple hierarchy of skepticism is, and it borrows from Dr. Maslow. So the first level, what we encountered a year ago, was survival. And a lot of people thought Apple was in some sort of death spiral, which I think there was some truth to. What did we do? We did many, many things, but the three things that stood out in people's minds was we brought in a new management team to run the company, a new board of directors that's got some phenomenally experienced people on it, and we did a deal with Microsoft. The largest software company in the world wanted to help Apple was a fact that didn't escape very many people. And it added a lot of credibility to what we were doing. And the combination of these three things and a lot of other medium-sized things, I think, convinced people fairly rapidly that survival, at least in the short term, was not an issue. And it gave us some time to demonstrate that we could accomplish some other things. So immediately, once we did these things, then everybody moved up a level. And, you know, I can't see when you do that. Thanks. So maybe later, could we do some more? That really helped me. Thanks. So they moved up a level. So if it wasn't about survival, it was, well, but there's no stable business in the Mac market. That was the next level of the hierarchy. So we had to start demonstrating that we had a stable business and that one could be made from the Macintosh market because it's a great market. So what did we do? Well, the most important thing was profits. In the end, that's what a lot of people look at. And so the first full quarter of the new management team, Apple delivered profits of $47 million, right, for the quarter ending the end of December. And in the next fiscal quarter, the second fiscal quarter, ending the end of March, Apple delivered a quarter with $55 million worth of profits. This went a long way to convincing a lot of the skeptics. And we will be announcing the results of our third fiscal quarter, the one that just ended at the end of June, a week from today. And I'm very pleased to tell you that it will be our third consecutively profitable quarter. Fred Anderson, our really great CFO, would cut my head off if I told you the results. I'm dying to, but I can't. So I think you'll be pleased. In addition to that, we're seeing the resources of Apple rise in terms of cash, in terms of people. Our retention has gone way up. We're losing hardly any people from the company now, and we're hiring incredibly good people into the company. We also realigned our distribution channels, and of course the most visible part of that was CompUSA. There have been many other parts of it as well, but CompUSA is a very important part and sort of the symbol for the whole realignment of distribution, and it's working great. And we began an advertising campaign for brand around Think Different and for some very specific product advertising. So for the first time in a long time, people saw Apple on television and in outdoor and in print. And we also invested in an online store. And we went from nothing online to, I think, the gold standard of e-commerce now in terms of ease of use and clarity. And we've won every award in the book. We are one of the largest e-commerce sites now on the internet. And if you take all of Apple's websites together, this is a pretty good indication about the interest level in the company. It went from 1 million hits per day a year ago to 10 million hits per day today. And that's terrific. So the aggregate of all of these things was that the market value of Apple's risen from about $1.8 billion a year ago to about $4 billion yesterday. I don't know what it is today. And what this means is that people are seeing a stable business, which is good, and that a business that is under control, which is also good. So what do they do then? Well, they don't send us a card or anything. They just go on to the next one. So what's the next one? Well, if you've survived and you've got a stable business, well, what's your product strategy? You know, you're a product-driven company. You better have a doggone good product strategy. And we did not talk about that much for many months. And the reason we didn't talk about it for many months was because we wanted to keep ourselves and the outside world focused on what we were doing at each moment in time, our results, not some vision out in the future. So we didn't talk about it, but we were working our tails off on it. And in the month of May, we disclosed it all at 2 events. One we called the Big Bang on May 6th, and the other a week later at the Developer Conference. And let me take you through that product strategy now, because it's been very well received. When we got to the company a year ago, there were a lot of products. These were the product platforms, 15 product platforms, and a zillion variants of each one. I couldn't even figure this out myself. After about 3 weeks, I said, how are we going to explain this to others when we don't even know which products to recommend to our friends? There was no way to do it. So we went back to Business School 101 and we said, what do people want? Well, they want 2 kinds of products. They want consumer products. Consumers want them in general, and education wants, for the most part, consumer products. And we need pro products, because our design and publishing market wants pro products, and some consumers do, and some education do as well. And in each of those 2 categories, we need desktop and portable models. And what this told us was, if we had 4 great products, that's all we need. And as a matter of fact, if we only had 4, we could put the A-team on every single one of them. And if we only had 4, we could turn them all every 9 months instead of every 18 months. And if we only had 4, we could be working on the next generation or 2 of each one as we're introducing the first generation. So that's what we decided to do, to focus on 4 great products. And the first one that we introduced, of course, was the Desktop Pro product, which was the Power Mac G3. And this thing has been an incredible success for Apple. It's a great product. The performance is stunning. If you go out and find the fastest Pentium 2 machine money can buy, a 400 megahertz Pentium 2 machine, it byte marks out at 5.6 byte marks. Right? And look at the G3s. The slowest G3 toasts it. Dramatically faster results. And Intel, of course, not believing this, Intel went to Byte Magazine and said, my God, your tests must be wrong. You must have some bits flipped the wrong way. They spent tons of energy, and Byte Magazine, after doing everything with Intel that they could think of, reran the tests, and they were exactly the same, and they published the same results, and they said, we're standing by our results. These are real results. So, we wanted to tell people about them. We wanted to tell people about them, so we put it into our advertising. And we have sold over 750,000 G3s to date. So we're very happy with this. And that is our Pro Desktop product. The next product was the Pro Portable. And as you know, that is our new PowerBook G3. These are wonderful products. You can get them with screens up to 14 inches. They're gorgeous, giant screens. And the fastest Wintel portable you can buy has a Pentium 2 266 in it, and you can fry an egg on it. They can't put faster ones in there because their power is so high. The G3 is a beautiful chip in that it uses literally 15% of the power of these Pentiums. So we can put our fastest ones in the portables right away. And so our fastest portable with a 292 megahertz G3 is faster than any Pentium machine, portable or desktop, in the world that money can buy. And we've tried to tell the world about this too. Now, we had some availability problems about a month ago, this thing has been so popular that it outstripped our ability to make them.